Well, I just noticed that they pulled it into the shop, so let's go see if we can find it. It's supposed to be doing the dyno, but I don't know where they took it. Let's see if we can find it. It was parked right there, and it's not there now. Good morning, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to Shopping for an HDT Truck, Part 2. Today, we're going to head over to the power shop, and we're going to put the Charcoal Volvo 780 that we looked at in the previous episode on the dyno. I'm actually meeting one of the sales guys over there. They're going to deliver the truck for me. And the place is called Smith Power here in Salt Lake City. And they're going to put it on the dyno. They're going to do an inspection for me. They're going to pull fluid samples. So I don't know how long it'll take to get all those results back. I think it's about a week for the fluid samples. So, you know, we're going to be in a holding pattern a little bit. But I want to bring you guys along, and we're going to see if we can watch them dyno the truck. I talked to the guy yesterday, and he said, you know, I could shoot video from outside, but they can't let me in the shop, which I get, you know, it's a liability issue, but we'll see what we can do. But I'm pretty excited. This is the first time I've ever had a used vehicle put on a dyno as a pre-purchase inspection, so it's pretty exciting. And if you've never been through this process before, you know, like I've never been through this process buying a commercial heavy-duty truck, so it's pretty exciting. If you're enjoying this series, please give me a thumb up. Leave some comments below. Let me know your experience, and let me know if you think I'm screwing up, or if you think that you know, I'm on the right path. So let's get down the road and get to Smith Power and see what the morning brings. Here we are, pulling up to Smith Power. And I don't see our truck yet, but we'll find a place to park here and go in. There's service. I'm thinking right here. All right, so I just talked to Tim, and he's on his way, just getting off the freeway, so he should be pulling up here any minute with the truck. I already went inside and talked to Judy, and she got us all written up and in the system, and we're going to get us in as quick as they can so we can check out the dyno. They're going to do all our fluid samples and all that kind of stuff, so it'll be exciting. That's a big engine. There he is, coming in with the big truck. Yeah, you can hear it squeaking. Like a glove.
Yeah, I'm sorry to keep you waiting. I was walking out to the truck, and he called me on my cell, and
oh, no problem.
He's like, "Are you here?" I says,
"No, yeah, maybe."
Says, "Yeah, I'm still here. Get in here." Okay.
Okay, let me catch you guys up. So they showed up with the truck. Salesman brought it and dropped it off, and I talked to the service manager here at Smith Power. They've got a break for the mechanics. This place, I guess, is open 24 hours Monday through Friday, so the mechanics are taking a break, and then they're going to have a safety meeting, and so they're going to get me in maybe an hour. I'm going to hang out here and wait, and then she's going to show me where the dyno booth is. They won't allow us in the shop for a couple reasons. One, COVID-19, and two, it's just a safety liability issue for them. He was telling me that at one time they had they were on the dyno and they had a tire come off of the rig because it wasn't mounted properly or something. So it's, you know, a safety factor too, which I get, you know, that makes sense. They'll go over the results with me when it's done. I'm just gonna hang out here until it's time to get in the shop. Well, I just noticed that they pulled it into the shop, so let's go see if we can find it. It's supposed to be doing the dyno, but I don't know where they took it. Let's see if we can find it. It was parked right there. It's not there now. They got a bunch of motorhomes in there. Oh, there it is. Right there. Right there. So I guess they're going to do the inspection first, maybe? Or fluid samples or something. Let's see. Sharp looking truck. Getting prettier if it was clean. All right, let's see if I can figure out what's going on. Here's where we're going to be for the dyno. They got the tracks there. Nice exhaust shield. And we're going to film as much of this as they'll let us. Going into dyno. Okay, so just talked to the mechanic. He said everything on the truck looks good except the brakes. It needs brakes. They don't have the adapter for the machine to do the dyno, so they've got to order an adapter. I take a couple of days, so we can't dyno it today. So I'm gonna go in and talk to the service manager, see what that's gonna entail, and then see what's up.
In the previous clip, I stated that they couldn't do the dyno at all, but after speaking with the service manager, he advised that they could put it back on the dyno, test a few parameters like horsepower to ground and some other things, and then we'd need to return the truck to them once they got the Volvo adapter and complete the dyno test. This way, at least I could continue the sales negotiation pending the complete test. So back in the dyno we go.
Squeaky belt. We sprayed it and the squeak went away, and now it's back. So we know it's a belt, which is good. Belt's easy. You can hear the squeal now. I don't know if it's picking it up on the camera, but it's squealing good. So it's going to need brakes and it's going to need a belt. Little trim piece is going to have to be fixed. There's a trim piece on the mirror that, I don't know if you can see it from here. Right up there. It's going to have to be fixed. But he got it all hooked up, so we're going to do the dyno. Not get loud. Yeah, that's cool.
RPMs.
Really?
So I can't get it to lock down at all.
A lot of times we have this happen on our engines. There's a progressive shift.
Yeah.
That they'll govern the drivers. They'll keep them, so they'll have to fuel mileage, plus so they can't go very fast.
Yeah, right.
So,
Okay.
that might be something to take them, look at, turn off, so you can get like 2100 RPMs or whatever out of it.
Right. Okay.
Get up there a bit.
Okay.
Because right now I can't get it to make any horsepower because it won't lug.
Nice.
Even top no load right now, just out of gear, it only goes 14.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's probably a governed.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, there's something governing.
Okay.
It won't go over 1400.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll talk to Tim about that.
I'm gonna plug that fuse back in.
Okay.
Because on these automatics, we have to pull the ABS fuse.
Yeah.
So we can run it manually. Otherwise, it'll downshift on us all the time.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna plug that back in and see if that makes a difference.
Okay. All right. So the saga continues. I just stopped and talked with Tim at the dealership. And the issue with the dyno, they couldn't do the dyno at all because they couldn't get the truck over 1400 RPM, which I guess the mechanic was telling me that they couldn't get it to load, so he couldn't even read the horsepower or any of that. And then of course there's the issue with the adapter. So they've ordered an adapter. They should have that first of the week. This is Friday today, so they should have it Monday or Tuesday. They went ahead and did all the fluid samples. Let me show you this right here. I went over to Godfrey Trucking, which it was the original owner of the truck. They were the only owner of the truck, and they traded it in here at Mountain West. So they gave me all the maintenance history paperwork, which is sweet. So I'm going to sit down and go through that at home and kind of get an idea of what's been done to the truck and when it was done. And I'll let you guys know what I find or don't find. That's the saga. Continues. They're going to go get the truck from Smith Power. They're going to take off the throttle governor. I guess that's the problem. It's governing it to like 68. So they're going to take that out of the programming and then take it back over and have it dynoed first of next week when they get that adapter. We'll see. It's okay. I'd rather wait and go through these moments and issues before I buy the thing. So, okay guys, back with an update. So the first dyno never worked out with Smith Power. They had some issues, lost their Volvo adapter. They ordered one, but it's going to be another 2.5 weeks before they get it. So we pulled the plug on that deal. I actually took the truck over to Premier Truck Group here in Salt Lake, and they were able to dyno it. The guy called and said that the report was good. I'm going to go get the report now, and we'll go through it for this video, but he did say that we had about 85% horsepower to ground. I guess the magic number is 75% or greater, so that's good news. He said the blow-by was really low. He seemed to be really happy with it, so we'll see what the results say. Then we're going to stop at Smith Power to go over the fluid sample results. I have a couple of concerns there, which I'll go over with you as well. But I'm going to stop and talk to Brandon over at Smith Power. He's the service manager, and have him kind of walk through and explain a couple things to me, so I'm, 100% confident of what I'm talking about, and then I'll share that with you guys. But that's where I'm headed off to now. I'll be back as soon as I get some results. Okay, well that was short and sweet. So we're here at Premier Truck Group. It's actually the Freightliner dealer here in West Valley City, Utah. I just went in and got the report. There's a small oil leak on the rear gear cover, which we already knew about. The blow-by and the torque okay. Looks like 354 foot-pounds of torque to the tires, which is about 85%. I guess you could say step one off the list that proves okay. They were really pleased with how it was performing. So we're going to run over to Smith Power Products and talk to them about the oil samples, and then back to the dealership and see if we can't get a deal put together. So I'm feeling pretty good. Before I close out the video, I kind of wanted to go over some of this paperwork with you guys, and hopefully you can kind of see this, but this is the bulk of the maintenance history paperwork that I got from Godfrey. And Godfrey Trucking bought this truck new from Mountain West. They ran it for 3 years or whatever, and they traded it in. And I was just lucky enough to find a locally owned truck that I could go and talk to the owner and get the maintenance history. So I basically went over there with the VIN number, and they pulled all this history for me, which I thought was awesome. And as I worked through this, I noticed that about every 30,000 miles or so, they changed the oil. and about every 10,000 miles they did a PM. There's only a couple things in here they actually repaired over the life of the truck, and one of those, let me get back to this page, was the air compressor. If you watched my first video, you'll notice that when I was looking at this truck, I kind of mentioned that the air compressor wasn't green because it'd been replaced, and so this paperwork actually verifies that. I guess the truck broke down at a truck stop. They sent a mechanic out and they replaced the air compressor, and this was at 424,000 miles. So the truck's only got 504 on it, so about 75,000 miles ago the air compressor was replaced. So I was glad to see that, and I was also glad to see that they kept up with the PM through the life of the truck. So very important. If you happen to get lucky like I did and find a locally owned truck, or even not locally owned, if you can figure out who owned it and maybe you can get maintenance history, then that's what I would recommend. So let's move on to the actual dyno test. This is the report that they gave me, and you can see here we had a small oil leak at the rear gear cover, which we knew about already. And then if you go down here, I'm going to try to get close so you guys can see this. This is actual results from the dyno itself. So you can see the miles per hour, the blow by super low, the power horsepower. So you can see here at about 1,001 seconds into the test, we reached 353 horsepower to ground. That was at 52 miles an hour. And, the cool thing, we're only 20 horsepower off at 60 miles an hour. So the truck's performing really well. They said the 75% horsepower to ground is what they like to see, and this is about 85%. The truck is rated at 455 horsepower. But this is what the report's going to look like. All right, let's jump over here real quick. This is the inspection report from Smith Power Products. So this is basically a DOT inspection. So they basically check everything checked good. The small squeak he mentions here was in that belt, and we had that replaced, and needs brakes, and we had those replaced. So as part of our deal, we had the belt and the pulley replaced, and we had the brakes replaced, and the truck was already equipped with brand new tires. Okay, one last thing I just want to cover real quick is the lube analysis report. So at Smith Power Products, when they did the DOT inspection, they also pulled oil samples. This is the engine oil, and you can see that it had some moderate, I think moderately low for 10. So there really wasn't any issue with the engine. We went ahead and had them do a complete oil filter change anyway, but the engine test actually came back pretty clean. So this is for the transmission, and we had high silicone, and that was really the only concern. You can see here the braces were at a severe level, high silicone, and what I learned from the shop foreman over at Smith Power Products is that they usually change transmission at about $500,000, maybe $750. So it just has never been changed, and silicone is just a result of the dirt from the air and that sort of thing. So we also had a full transmission service done. And then the two differentials, again, we had high silicone, a little bit manganese, but they said, they weren't too concerned with anything else except for the silicone. So, and the same on this one. You see 259 right here on the silicone. I know the differentials, Volvo says to change at 750,000 miles. So we went ahead and had both differentials changed as well. So we started out with all fresh, brand new fluids all the way around, and filters to include the air filters. I just want to show you guys that, kind of give you an idea of what this different paperwork looks like, and you can take this for what it's worth, but hopefully this helps in your search and your process of buying a heavy-duty truck. Stay tuned. It's a saga, but we're getting through it. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. More to come. There'll be at least a couple more episodes. Thanks again. Take it easy, and until next time, safe travels. Bye.